My name's good afternoon again, everyone. So today we'll be having the webinar for the manufacturing maze. Find your way with Odoo's multi-warehouse survival guide. All right. Yeah. So for today, I'll be your presenter. Ako po si Mark Pasha. Ako yung business advisor or one of the business advisors here in the Philippines. And I'm happy to do the webinar for you today. All right. Manufacturing maze. Find your way. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So agenda for today is we have 4 agendas. So yung unang agenda natin is sino si Odoo? Okay. Number 2, yung case study natin for today. So sino yung kumpanya, anong ginagawa natin, and also ano yung mga kailangan natin gawin to be more efficient in Odoo. Number 3, yung demo natin. And 4, yung question and answer natin. Alright? Sige. So unang-una, who or what is Odoo? Yan. So Odoo is an all-in-one management software, meaning kung nag-manual kayo at the moment, or let's say your operations ginagawa niyo sa Excel, si Odoo naman lahat ng iba't ibang departments or iba't ibang operations nako-connect po natin from let's say sales, inventory, accounting, and purchasing. Okay? At saka many more. Right? Secondly naman, user-friendly. So sobrang user-friendly na. So we really want to resonate with the younger workforce, and also we want a software to be as easy as possible to get in, kasi minsan na overwhelm tayo pag ginamit natin yung software. Pero kay Odoo naman, very user-friendly po yan. Alright? Then lastly naman is customizable. So let's say if yung flow natin or yung mga configurations hindi sapat sa gusto natin, then it's very customizable to how you'd want your operations or your company to flow. Alright? Yan. So, si Fabian naman, siya yung founder namin. So, yung pinaka-purpose kung ba't niya ginawa si Odoo is first to really help SME companies specifically to make your business grow larger. Okay? So, this will give you the tools to empower your users para at least mas mabilis nyo magagawa nyo yung mga work from day-to-day operations. Yan. So right now, ito yung global presence natin. So we have 19 offices worldwide and 13 million users, no? And for the Asia region, no, si Hong Kong po yung headquarters natin for Southeast Asia. And we also have an office ready in Indonesia and also Australia, Gold Coast. So Philippines, not to worry naman, medyo fast expanding naman po tayo. So maybe, who knows, no, in the future, baka mag-office na po tayo dyan. Alright? Yan. So for positioning or for comparison purposes, no, so ito naman yung mga ERP players or let's say software competitors, or software players sa industry. So right now we have a quadrant, no? We have a business scope, tapos we have user friendliness. So what this means is Odoo is within Salesforce and Zoho area na high user friendliness, and also yung business scope coverage is very also wide, no? So other companies naman here, they may have high user friendliness pero yung business coverage na is very limited. Tapos yung iba naman po dito is high coverage naman pero very hard to get into in terms of software knowledge. Okay, so si Odoo is like right in the middle of all these ERP or software companies. Okay, yan. So we cover business complex needs with a user friendliness interface. Alright, yan. So ito naman yung mga big names or common companies known, no, in the Philippines. So ito naman sila naka-onboard already sa Philippines, and happy to say we have a lot of clients already, no, around the Philippines. We have Grab, we have Krispy Kreme. So pretty much a lot of companies already. Okay? Yan. So for this slide naman, we just really want to differentiate, no, kung ano pa talaga yung difference from a standalone software compared to an all-in-one solution. So at the moment, let's say currently baka yung business or company ninyo nasa standalone software. So you're using Excel, you're using QuickBooks. So anong nangyayari kasi dito is you'd have to maintain multiple multiple softwares, and also have to maintain multiple costs. So medyo nagiging mahirap na yung pag-manage natin, tapos iba't iba yung ginagamit yung software, let's say interface, no? Whereas let's say pag nag-transition po tayo to an ERP software, you'll be able to manage it in all in one go or in all one platform, just to ease yung work ninyo, pati yung connectivity, no, to different department, different operations. So let's say from accounting, manufacturing, sales, purchasing, and so on. Okay? Yan. So ito yung mga applications or modules, no, available sa Odoo. So for today, we'll be going through manufacturing, inventory, and just how it really works within your different warehouses, and also how you produce, let's say, the final or finished products. But si Odoo naman, we have around 77, if I'm not mistaken, modules available at the moment, and it's rapidly expanding. So as time goes on, we would always want to improve or have more modules that would be more amenable no to the nowadays industries or businesses that are available in the Philippines. Okay. Yan. So yung case study po natin for today. Yan. So tayo naman, let's imagine na we are Manila Electronics Components Incorporated. So we're a leading Philippine manufacturer of electronics components, and we were founded in 2010. So medyo matagal na po tayo nag-ooperate ng business. So maybe around 15 years already. Okay? Tapos nag-expand po tayo ng operations across countries and also built a strong presence in key manufacturing hubs. So right now, yung warehouses po natin ay within Metro Manila, Laguna, and Cebu. So we're trying to somehow automate and also share how we can use Odoo in terms of operations. Yan. So yung current challenges po natin is we have inefficient inventory management, meaning nag-struggle po tayo sa managing inventory across different locations. Tas minsan naman nag-lead siya to stock outs and also overstocking issues, which could be a problem naman for our inventory management, no? Tapos secondly naman, yung long shipping times natin. So yung pag-store natin ng products sa mga iba't ibang warehouse far from customer locations, minsan nag-result siya sa lengthy delivery times, no? Tapos pati yung increased transportation. So we're going to solve yung mga certain challenges nito, no, through Odoo. Okay? Then lastly naman yung limited scalability po natin, no? So current system natin, hindi siya maka-adapt sa current market demands without yung disrupting yung ongoing operations po natin. Alright? So yung mga current challenges natin, and I'll show you how we're going to solve this with using Odoo. Alright, let's head over to demo. Okay. Ayan. So ito yung database natin, or this is Odoo. Now this is our dashboard. So just to share a quick thing with this, Odoo, you can use it in your laptop, desktop, anywhere you go as long as you have Wi-Fi. All right, so let's head over to our database and start this demo. So first things first, let's set up our products. I just want to share sa inyo kung ano yung mga iba't ibang inventory natin that we are currently tracking or covering. So I'm going to show you the raw materials, pati yung finished products natin. So as you can see, I typed here in my laptop IN, which is shortcut for inventory. So if let's say in the future, madami kayong modules na minamanage, if you want to find a application faster, just simply type it, inventory, type the shortcut, and simply click. Yan. So we are now in our inventory overview, and I can see all the ongoing transactions on a day-to-day basis from our different warehouses, okay? And if you wanted to see it in, let's say, a more clean, no, view, we can simply group it by warehouse. Yan. So ito yung mga iba't ibang warehouse na I'm currently managing. So I have my Metro Manila, like I said a while ago, may Laguna, pati yung Cebu ko. Okay, so let's head over naman sa ating products. So for today, let's focus on the product we want to create, at the same time deliver it, and also manage yung ating inventory, no? So let's for example, let's head over to resistors. So this is going to be our finished product that we want to manufacture. So let me click this here. Yan. So ito naman, this is our inventory where we will be populating the different fields. So important dito is make sure we have the track inventories right now. I want to make sure that I'm tracking it by quantity. And I have also my sales price, my cost price as well over here. Important part here is the route. So I want to make sure that I am always going to manufacture this. At the same time, I'm also going to replenish yung inventory ko nito using MTO, or made to order. All right, so the reason why I brought you over here is to share or show one of the nice features that Odoo has. So we have these buttons on the top portion of our screen. We call these a smart buttons. So this is our way to connect to the different modules, and this is, I would say, very powerful because, for example, resistors will be able to manage everything all in one go. So I have bill of materials, I have the number of units sold, I also have the incoming and also outgoing number of inventory ko. Okay, so let's click over our bill of materials for resistors. Yan, right? And over here, I can see the final product that I want to create, which is resistors, and also I have my components over here. So I have two components that comprise of the finished good, or which I'll be using to manufacture this finished product. And I also have my operations that we'll be using or going through later on. Okay, so what's nice about Odoo is we can set up our different types of operations, work centers specifically for your finished product. Okay. There we go. So we can put different types of information. We can also put the duration that we need to do, or sorry, the duration of number of minutes in order to create this finished product. Okay, so that's for our finished product that we want to create later on. Okay, but before that, let's head over back again to our sales module. So for example, I want to start selling this finished product to one of my clients in the Philippines, no? Okay, so this is the sales application. So now I'm managing my different types of quotation and also the customers and also how much the total amount is. So let's create a new one here, for example. Okay, so once we click this, let's just simply select a customer and let's select resistors. There we go. So what you want to do here is simply click save, and once we've done this, we've inputted the product that we want to sell, no, sa ating customer. And what you want to do here is simply confirm. Yan. So pag na-confirm natin, like what I mentioned a while ago, yung smart buttons kay Odoo would always or most likely mag-a-appear po yan sa screen natin, kasi it means na okay, Mark, yung resistors po natin, kailangan natin i-manufacture din to. And also in the future, we will be delivering this as well to our customers. So that's very nice in a sense that I don't need to open a different module or I need to access a different app, no, just to get things going for my work. Okay. But if you may notice here, we have a graph or an icon. It shows it's color red. This is what this means is yung availability ng unit natin. So it's color red, meaning yung inventory count natin is currently 1, but we do not have this on hand. So we want to manufacture this. So simply, we just want to click the manufacturing smart button. Alright? Yan. So, kanina, pinakita ko po yung bill of materials natin, no, for resistor. So, dito na natin ipoproduce sa ating warehouses together with the raw materials that we need for our final product. Alright? So, I just want to check kung saan natin pupulutin, no, yung mga raw materials natin. So, let me quickly explain lang. This is warehouse number stock. So what this signifies is, if I click this, yan. So see warehouse stock, ito po yung main warehouse natin that we are currently maintaining our raw materials. So mangyayari kasi po dito is we're going to pull these raw materials from our main warehouse or C Manila warehouse, and we will be using this to produce, no, our product. Okay, work orders, just let me check quickly, no, kung tama naman since na-set up na po natin a while ago. Miscellaneous as well. Alright, okay. And I want to also set myself as responsible. So ako po yung magiging in charge sa ating production na to for this final product, which is resistors. Okay. And schedule date, let's say we're going to do it for today and end today then as well. Alright. Then over here again, we have the smart button. So usually if it's purple, it's suggesting the next step that you need to do in order to do or to proceed with the next step. So what we can do is we can click plan. Once we've planned this, let me quickly share it how it looks like. Okay, since we're on the sales module, so let's go manufacturing. Yan. So na-plan na po natin, and I want to simply select manufacturing orders. Okay, yan. So ito yung ating plan na ginawa, no? So let's sort it out. Yan. So ito si resistors. Ito yung mga manufacturing orders that we have to maintain. So we have multiple number of MOs at the moment. We have 11. And ito yung resistors na ginawa natin na galing sa sales order number 5. Okay? Yan. So it entirely looks the same, no? So as you can see, nag-navigate po tayo from sales. Kanina, I click yung smart button. But of course, I want to share you din kung saan mismo nanggagaling tong particular operation, no? Alright, so let's begin. Okay, so for our work centers over here, simply you can click start if let's say you're the managing person in charge of this operation. Or kung meron tayong ibang tao in charge of this, we can also go ahead naman dito sa ating shop floor module. This is also directly related sa ating manufacturing module. So let's say this is our first work center where my person in charge of this will be doing the operation na sorting. Okay, so simply want to do, if you want to start this, click the start button. Okay, yan. So tumatakbo na po yung ating operation. That means in Odoo, you'll be able to see the time that's running. So if I click this, you can see the in progress and also real-time duration. Okay, so I go back to my shop floor. Then what you want to do next is click mark as done. Okay, and once we're done with that, and so tapos na po yung ating first operation. So secondly naman, we can head over to the second operation natin. So let me simply remove the others. Okay. Alright, so here, let's just do it over here. So we can click play again and stop. Or mark as done. So finished again. So if you can imagine, you can either use this or in the shop floor. Depends on who's managing it or making in charge, kung sino yung gumagawa. Okay, and we simply click done. Okay, so we have to do a quality check first before we proceed with this. okay, in the shop floor. So for that, we go to the shop floor. Okay, where's our quality check? Okay. Sorry for that. Let's head over again here in the shop floor. There you go. Kasi yung last step natin, may quality check po tayo. So let's check over the work centers for a station. That's the finishing. Okay, and finishing over here is still playing. And let's click stop. And there. So we have a part or option in Odoo wherein you can do a quality check para at least yung last final step. Let's say may person po tayo mag-check po ng inventory before we pass this over to our different warehouse and proceed to complete this production. So simply do pass, then now we're done, and you simply want to close the production. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's head over back ulit sa manufacturing operation natin, no? Okay, and just to mention here, ito yung work centers natin. So this is the total overview. This is where you can manage yung different schedules and also operating time that, let's say, a particular work center is running. All right. So back to my manufacturing order, and let's select the, right now kasi lumalabas po dito is to do. So with Odoo naman, ang maganda din dito is we have filters in the top portion of our screen. So right now, we can simply remove it if I want to see the different type of filters, or let's say all the manufacturing orders that we've done in the past. Okay, so it's number 11, yung natapos natin. So right now, done na siya. So na-produce already. Okay, for work orders, we're all good to go. So over here, what we want to do is check yung mga na-consume natin, no? So we can see that one of one has been consumed for, let's say, the resistor networks and also the potent show meters, no? And let's go back naman sa ating sales operation. Yan. So right now, if you notice a while ago, naging kulay green na siya, somewhat green na, no? That means we have inventory on hand to deliver this product already. Okay. So what do I want to do next is, so sa Odoo naman, if let's say we're good to go, we've already created na yung finished good natin, we can deliver this to our client already. Okay. So head over to delivery, smart button, and over here, makikita natin yung mga iba't ibang fields, no, that you have to take note. So right now, we have yung Metro Manila warehouse natin, which is going to be our operation type for delivery orders. And also over here, source location, you can see as well kung saan natin kukunin, no, yung finished goods, or let's say kung saan yung sinistore siya mismo sa inyong software. Okay, so since we produced or saan galing yung raw materials natin, so warehouse or main warehouse natin sa stock, so it will also come from our main warehouse as well. So schedule date, let's say, let's do it over there. Okay, so that's for tomorrow, but let's say today is tomorrow na, so let's now deliver this. So simply what you want to do is the person in charge of the operation to deliver to your client simply has to validate this. Okay, but before we even go there, I want to share something we have over here in the bottom portion of our screen. So if you may notice, we have my name, and also we have different changes na nangyari throughout the click of a button I did a while ago, and so on. So we call this the chatter box. So what the chatter box does in Odoo, it will serve as the way wherein you can monitor the accountability of a user, of an employee. Let's say kung sino gumagawa, sino nag-change, para at least very harmonious yung pag-communicate natin internally. Kasi kagaya ng ibang softwares, we're not able to see a particular timestamp, or let's say the historical details throughout all these operations that we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So that's like one of the powerful tools that we can have during our operation on a day-to-day basis with Odoo. Okay, so what can I see here? So Mark has changed the scheduled date, and also he changed the reservation from another operation to ready. Okay, another thing you can do here is, let's say you wanted to email your client, ABC Corporation. Okay, so you can set an email, and you can actually connect your email using Odoo. So for example, I can tell my client, hi ABC, ready to ship na po, please be advised. Okay, so we're letting our client know via email that we're sending out are already yung finished good that they ordered sa atin, and there we have it. We have a green icon that indicates that it's an email being sent out to our client. Okay, then we also have the log note. So this is wherein we do the internal communications. So we can type here to process, please repair, something like that. So we can do a log note, and whoever will open this particular warehouse out or delivery out can see this chatterbox information that they need to know for this particular delivery. Okay. Then lastly, we can do activities. So if you want to make sure na you're on top of your work, you do it or you track it on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, you can schedule your activities. No? Para at least may reminder po tayo na may kailangan tayong gawin for, let's say, for tomorrow. And ang mangyayari dyan is we have a notification for tomorrow. But let's say, for example, today na yun, Tuesday. If that happens, so we would have a notification on the top right portion of our screen na, hey, Mark, we have a delivery to do for today. And it will appear over here if I click that. Yan. Okay? So maganda dito, it's very much connected, and also every button makes sense whenever you're using Odoo. Okay? So last step is to simply, let's validate this so we can deliver it out. And once we've done that, and let's go back here, transfer. Let's go back actually to our sales quotation where we're tracking this. No? Delivery. Okay, we delivered it out. And I go back here, so good to go. So what this does, or what happened is, we already delivered out yung ating resistors. So for you to track or monitor yung movement natin, we can head over again to the inventory, okay, reporting, and click yung stock. Okay, so dito po natin i-monitor and track yung mga inventory levels natin. And if I expand this, the different warehouses that we have at the moment. So right now, if you see, I'm currently using the filter all warehouses, meaning na-track ko and nakita ko lahat ng current on-hand products ko, raw materials, and so on. So since we just recently delivered yung resistors natin and also sold it to our client, dapat mabawasan po yung ating inventory. So currently, if you can see over here, and I filtered out Metro Manila warehouse, we have 7, okay? But with Odoo, you have different types of fields or reports that we can manage or track these products. So I want to see the history, no? Right, yan. So right now, what this report does, it shares a story kung ano yung moves history ng particular product na to. And in the future, no, if you really wanted to dive deep with our software, you can also configure lot or serial numbers, no? Alright, so I can see the historical details of this particular finished product we manufactured and na-deliver po natin to our partner, okay, with a specific delivery date, number 6, so in delivery orders natin, and also particular date. Okay, so if it's color red, just note that that is a negative to our particular inventory, and if it's green, that means our inventory increased. All right, and let's check over our Laguna warehouse. So for example, I want to transfer, no? Let's try to transfer different inventories to our different warehouses. So let's dive deep naman sa ating internal delivery, no, to our Cebu warehouse para may stock naman or coverage naman sila dun. So they can also deliver to our clients in Cebu. Okay, so what you want to do is in Odoo, for the inventory, we can head over to transfers and just simply select internal. Okay, and sa internal naman transfers natin, this will manage your different inventory between in different warehouses. So ang mangyayari dito is we'll be able to transfer from Manila warehouse, Cebu, Laguna, all in one click. So contact, just make sure you'll select your company. So that's us, Manila Electronic Components, and internal transfer. Okay. Source location natin is our main warehouse, which is WH/stock. Let's transfer it over to our Cebu warehouse. Okay, so in Odoo naman, you'll be able to set up kung ano yung particular warehouse name ninyo. So it's warehouse stock. If I click this, I can see the internal link or what this particular warehouse details are. And we can also change the removal strategy in the future. No? So as you can see, sobrang daming configurations that we can make use. So your software, if we're just showing the high level overview or the flow of it, later on you can really customize it to how you'd want it to work for your business. Okay. So let's say I need to transfer some raw materials to them. Let's put some capacitors. Let's put this as well. Okay, let's give them 5 of each. Okay. Okay, so you see the icon again. It means we do not have available. Save lang natin. forecast report, here we go. Yan. So if you see yung icon na yun, the color red or the color green, that's the inventory level you have. At the moment for this particular product, the capacitors, I do not have inventory available for this. But let's say in the future, no, kasi with Odoo, it's very dynamic. You can increase your inventory either doing a manual adjustment or updating the quantity, or pwede natin procure yun from a different module, which is the purchasing app, which will be another story siguro, no? But for now, let's just put a quantity. Let's update this, but at least we have some inventory to send over, no? Yan. So I updated it manually na lang muna. So right now I have 5 on hand. Okay, and we're good to go. Let's check again. Okay, so we have forecasted 5. Update quantity. Okay, we're good to go. All right, so let's do the transfer. Make sure everything's correct. Schedule date. So pwede rin natin i-schedule. If you don't want to do it right now, mark as to do. Okay. And same thing again, similar to a while ago when delivering out, we simply validate this. All right. Yan. So make sure i-validate po natin. Tapos pwede rin tayo mag-print over here. We can also return in the future. Okay. So be mindful lang po yung mga smart buttons natin as we can do print and also returns in the future. Responsible, it's me, and in the future you can connect it with your sales order and also projects. All right, other transfers or other operations we can check on. So receipts, ito naman is yung pagpasok ng inventory natin. So if we click new, a while ago I did a manual adjustment just for us to have inventory right away, but this is, let's say, if we're receiving products from our suppliers. Okay, let's say we're receiving products for the raw materials, so si Supplier Incorporated will be delivering to our, let's make it Manila receipts again. Okay, then over here just select again the products that you have. So in the future, if you do have a lot of products, I would suggest you can simply type it over here. Let's say you have 1000 SKUs you're managing, you can simply type it over here in the filter or search bar, or you can also simply type the product over here. So there you go, simply type it and you'll be able to see the product that you need to input or indicate. All right. So similar din as well, no, sa ating operations. You just have to really put the products over here and you just have to indicate which is the destination location and also the operation type that we want. Then you always have to validate it at the end of the day, no? So it's like rinse and repeat, no? It's very much similar, identical with the operations of delivery orders, internal transfers, and also our receipts. Okay, validate and we're good. For manufacturing, one thing I didn't mention a while ago. So what we did a while ago is we manufactured our finished goods, but we did not indicate kung saan manggagaling yung ating particular raw material, no? So just to go back here again, what we can do, so resistors, so you just want to make sure that in your manufacturing order, let's say for this finished product, you want to double check your miscellaneous tab and just indicate or select, no, yung components location natin, meaning the materials that we'll be using to finish these resistors, no. So make sure your components location is properly set. Okay, so these are our 3 warehouses, and your finished products location. So one thing very cool about this is I can pull from, let's say, I can pull from Manila warehouse natin, then I can deliver it or have it stored naman sa ating Laguna. Then Odoo will be able to help and manage you track that. All right, there you go. Okay, some other things. Let me just share one of the things you can double check. So for our work centers a while ago, Mark, you may be wondering, Mark, how do we set this up? No, so let me quickly share to you how we can do, or what we can put in our work centers. So over here, we have our product information. You can indicate the time efficiency, the capacity, cost per hour. So we can do cost per hour, per work center, or per employee. We can also put specific capacities, let's say for a particular product. So this building or this work center name is called building. We can put any name we want. Then also in the future, we can also put, let's say, an alternative work center. Let's say itong particular work center is not operating. What alternative work center can we use, no, in replacement of this? And we can also put equipment that we want for this particular work center and also the maintenance. Okay, so it's very dynamic. You'd have pretty much all this information on hand, and also it will be able to help you streamline the different information and also crunch the numbers that you need for your particular operations. Okay. What else? Okay, so let's double check here. Go back to my sales order. Okay, so pretty much we already captured the inventory, the warehouses, the manufacturing orders. Let's just double check our delivery. Okay, and I think this is good to go. So maybe with this, the next step, but since this is mostly or solely focused on the internal operation, so in the future, once we've done the delivery, that's wherein you'll eventually do your create invoice. So that's like another chapter of the story. So that's in we're gonna have accounting and so on to create your invoice. Okay, but pretty much that's it for today. But I hope everyone was able to capture the potential ideal flow on how you can manage particular warehouse from one to another, pati yung mga iba't ibang features available sa modules natin. No? But since it's like a high level overview, this would be able to help your operations in terms of what you need to have at the moment and also what you could potentially have in the future. Okay. So that's it for today. But after that, we're going to be handling the question and answers. So I hope everyone was able to appreciate no, yung flow natin. If I go back here, yeah. So right now, if you have question and answers in the chat, maybe we can answer some of it because we still have time naman. So yeah, I hope everyone's able to enjoy it. And now we're open for question and answers. Okay. Let me check lang yung question and answers natin. Okay. All right. So first question. If I have a given view name or external ID, how do I figure out which page it is associated to? Okay. So I think for this particular question, it's more of viewing or external ID. It's more of customization, no? So let's say if it's this in terms of customization, we would suggest that you reach out to your business advisor who may have emailed you or who may have WhatsApped you or Viber you previously. Then you can ask them how we can go about this customization. But we have a team, we call them functional consultants or project manager, who can then help with the customizations that we have in the future. Okay, or for you particular, all right? May I have to know if you have a department business for wood buying? So for wood buying, or let's say a department business for wood buying, if it's a particular industry and somewhat it's very identical to what you're currently going to use potentially, say for manufacturing, then we would have a set of parameters or workflows prepared for you already in the future. So then again, I would suggest you reach out to your current business advisor if you have one, but if not, you may feel free to reach out to me in the future. So we can discuss this on a more specific discussion or conversation. Okay, so that's from Sharifa. All right, so this shop floor smart button, is it only available on enterprise Odoo? Yes, so this question is from Reddick. Yes, so shop floor smart button, it's actually a module connected with the manufacturing. Yes, only available in enterprise model. But yes, but you have to make sure you have the manufacturing module downloaded or installed for you to see the shop floor, since they're both they come together. All right. Okay, so let's head over to the fourth question. Are all work centers and timesheets linked directly nasa sales related order? So yung work centers and also timesheets, for work centers, so let's go back to our demo database. Okay, let's select the one we created. So for the work centers, to answer your question from the sales in module or application, yes, so they are all directly linked no to sa ating sales order number 5. So it's with the use or with the power of the smart button, let's say manufacturing. There we go. So I'm immediately brought to the manufacturing module. So just remember, whenever I'm clicking a button from our smart buttons, it will bring me immediately to yung particular module that I want to go to, which is manufacturing. For timesheets naman, that would be separate, no? Yung timesheets that we want to manage, we'd have a module specifically related to timesheets. But for the purpose of manufacturing, it would be done through your shop floor or say management of the time and also the expected or real duration. For timesheets, if it's let's say for a service in the future, you may simply add a product in the future. Then you may put a service. Then Odoo may, let me just share how it would look like. Then Odoo may see this as a particular service, no? So there you go. Just make sure yung product type natin, it's either goods, service, or combo. And one quick tip from me, if you're not particularly sure with the function that you're looking at in Odoo, we have a question mark button over there. Just hover your mouse and you'll be able to see what this particular field is suggesting you to do. So right now it's a service, and this is wherein you indicate if it's a timesheet or not in the future. So that's how we're going to manage our work centers and timesheets, okay? Next question. Will this work on a multi-company? That's a very good question. Multi-company, yeah. So actually, that's one of the powerful things about Odoo. At the moment, we're only using one database, but let's say in the future, you have multiple companies you're managing. Meron po tayong managed companies. Dito po natin ilalagay, or this is wherein we can have multiple databases for one particular account. So it's very, so in short, parang two birds in one stone. So let's do company 2. Okay. Yan. So ang mangyayari dito is, or what happens is, we'll have a totally different database that we have. You just have to make sure you mark this. Para at least we can access yung company that we want to track na different. Usually kasi yung ibang tao, or let's say yung ibang companies, they would use this if they have different people managing it, but they also have similar identical inventory, or let's say similar users. But that's a very good question. Okay. If a MO has 5 units to make, how will work centers handle that MO if units could not be finished at the same time? Okay, wait. So for the manufacturing order, if you have 5 units to make, could not be finished at the same time. So for that, you just have to make sure you manage it properly over here in your work centers. But with Odoo naman, we can have multiple MOs up and running at the same time. Okay. But you'll just be able to track and monitor it over here. Okay. So maybe in the future you can have a deeper conversation or dive deep with that with your business advisor. For the purpose of time. Okay, wait. Do I need a barcode from? Okay, for barcode in particular, well, we don't usually have a specific barcode, but it's just a general or standard one that current people use or current people have, so that may be accessible or usable. But I can share a link, or we can share a link later on, no, with the particular barcode that Odoo suggests to have. Okay. If this will work for multiple companies, if we have 3 companies, will the product be shared among all 3? Or that's another good question for this person that asked this. So what I mentioned a while ago for the multi-company purpose. So if you have 3 companies and you have one product that are shared among 3, so yes, you'll be able to track and monitor that for all those 3 databases. And you may also have totally separate inventory that you want to track for this. Okay. Yeah, so basically, to answer that question, because you asked, or will the products need to be defined separately? So to answer your question, it could be the same or it could be totally separate. Okay. How can we generate a report from manufacturing? Okay, good question. Let's head over to the reporting. Okay, for our manufacturing, so we have 3 reports that you make use of that Odoo will generate for you automatically. So as long as magamit po natin on a day-to-day basis yung ating Odoo. So right now we have, let's say, reporting for work centers, or for work orders rather. So Odoo will automate yung pag graph or pag-chart ng mga particular data that is required for this particular work centers we're managing. So with my total work orders, I can see yung ongoing numbers natin. Then we also have yung mga iba't ibang filters for this particular reports. Yan, so we can do that. We can change it to line. We can change it to pie. Yeah, so what it shows is expected duration. I am expecting 300 the time, 300, tapos 41.67 pa lang nang natapos for this particular operations. Okay. All right. Then you can also filter it out: expected duration, quantity done. So how many I've created, carried quantity, cost per hour. So a lot of, just make sure we make use of the particular fields that we want to filter out. And apart from that, we can use this as well. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of views over here. We have the Gantt. Okay, we also have the line list rather, and also the pivot. Okay, so you can make use of a lot. So this basically yung Gantt view natin, or yung Gantt chart. It could share the your day-to-day operation scheduled for your manufacturing. You can see the schedule. We can also see yung mga ongoing for a particular work center or operation. Okay. Okay, so that's for reports. No, that's just for manufacturing in particular. No? So if we go to the different applications, there are more reports available. Next question. Let me read it first. How can I know the required material for manufacturing per 1 week example and its details? Like, I need these components for this main product and shortage. Okay, so for that, going back, no, for the finished good natin, wait lang. For our finished good, for the components you need to know or you need to track or manage. With Odoo naman, you'll have these respective fields like what I've been mentioning a while ago. So first of all, you need to set up your bill of materials, which is basically all the components that we're currently managing or tracking. No? So during our manufacturing order, as we shown a while ago, there is a graph button that indicates if this product's available. So I'll show you again later now. But basically with the bill of material, we'll be able to set the components first over here. Then for me to know if these materials are available and if I need to resupply this from my supplier or my different warehouse, then let's go back here. So manufacturing. Okay. There we go. Oops, let's actually just make a new one instead. Let's use the same thing again and confirm. Oh, not that, sorry. So even before we confirm, so for that question, there we go. So even before we proceed with the next steps, which is to confirm or to reserve yung particular raw material for this final product, we have, let me save this. We have our forecast report. So for your forecast report, this is generally where you want to see all your raw materials. And what's nice about this is I can see my on hand, incoming, outgoing, and what will be the total forecast for this. And another thing is we can filter it out from Metro Manila warehouse to Laguna warehouse, then to Cebu warehouse. Okay, there you go. So right now I can see yung iba't ibang raw materials or components available for this. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. Can I make a fixed operation template containing for X operation and assign it directly to any product? Yeah, so for that, if you wanted to create a specific template or let's say for particular product, we just have to do it in the configuration ng inventory natin over here. But a while ago, you have to set up as well the work center first to make sure we can assign this properly. Okay, there we go. So in the future, you're gonna add the operation and also the particular work center this particular product is assigned to. Then we can also add worksheets, PDF. You can upload your own Google Slides, text, just so your team has cross-reference on what the worksheet will be done for this particular work center and also operation. Okay, yeah, so you can basically set up the configuration over here in your inventory, then your bill of materials. Okay. Pricing, maybe we can answer that later. Do you have variance analysis, allocation of variance, work in progress? For cost of goods sold, it's usually accounting, no. So, but for the purpose of time, if it's identically related to work in progress or cost of goods sold, I would suggest you reach out to your business advisor so you can deeply analyze this on a further discussion. Okay, we will answer questions. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. In manufacturing reports, if a field isn't available under measure, we need to add it via settings, fields to make it appear. Yes, so particularly that would fall under customization. So for that, we can customize additional fields and also reports. But if you want to deep dive this just on how we're going to make your report particularly look on what you'd want, then I'd suggest again to reach out to our business advisor who can suggest on what would be the potential parameters on how we can go about this. Since it's more of configuration or customization. Okay. If I set up branches under the main company, how do we transfer or move products from the main company to the branch warehouse? It seems that branch is treated as a separate entity. How do we? So for that, just going back here, if you want to set that up, so you just have to make sure we set up the particular warehouses. Let's click this. Metro Manila warehouse, okay, and we have our different types of incoming shipments and also outgoing shipments, okay. Then you can also indicate and select where you want to supply from directly over here. So these are the different types of configuration we want to set up first before we set up or move forward to our internal transfer to the warehouses. So they're not treated as separate, so it's more of it's collated. You just have to interchange your specific source and destination location with your particular transfer over here. Okay. What else? Let me see. How can see some SOH of products? Sorry, could you clarify SOH with the abbreviation of SOH of products in the warehouse by vendors? Okay, let me check. Let me check different questions. Sorry. Okay, but so far I hope everyone's able to understand so far questions. Okay, so we have a question here. How can we configure different units of measures for a product? In a product per BOM. Okay, so for that, I'll simply show you how we can do this. Thank you. So if you want to set up your unit of measurements, okay, let me see if it's set up. There you go. So it's a particular configuration we need to turn on or tweak. So just turn on your unit of measurements. You're good to go. Then if I'm back to my products, then another configuration has been turned on. So for that, oops. There. So since pretty much Odoo is very dynamic, just create a new product now here. So since with that, as you can see, one configuration led to a new field appearing. So with that, Odoo is very much inclined to have very different types of customizations you can do, or sometimes it's even just a configuration. So for this unit of measurements, you just have to set it up over here. You have for your internal or procurement, or which you buy from your supplier, which will be over here, your unit of measurement. Then in the future, you have your sale price. Okay, then the bill of material as well will have their own particular unit of measurements. Okay, so you just have to make sure you set this up before you create your bill of material together with components. But for me, I would suggest you reach out again to your business advisor so they can suggest how you can go about this, and they can also suggest what work needs to be done for this to get properly set up to how you want to look like. Okay, let's see. Okay. Can we generate reports? What's that? Can we generate a report showing the materials of inventories purchased at a certain period and which of these items part just sold to see the flow of purchases sold? Okay, so that's for products sold, and for products already purchased, that would be ready for the different module. Okay, so if that's not for manufacturing, let's go over here again. Okay. So a while ago, for that, you may use, well, this will just show where the movement came from, but for that, not entirely getting the flow of the purchase. Just sort. Okay, so for the purpose of time, to see the flow of the purchase up until we sell the item. So ideally, since we got our items by manually adjusting our inventory or from receiving it sa ating inventory, but for the purpose of time, we would suggest we reach out again to our business advisor, but we would be doing it in our purchasing modules. So from there, we would be doing our workflow up until we buy the particular product. Yeah, so but we won't have too much time, okay? Yeah, time's up. So yep, so I hope everyone was able to appreciate our workflow But for the purpose of time, we will be handling or accommodating your questions. Please feel free to reach out to me in the future, or please check your email. It may appear in the spam or junk messages. Our business advisor emailed you already beforehand, and they will reach out to you accordingly just to get to know how you found the webinar, and if you wanted to know Odoo on a deeper perspective, because what we just tackled is the surface level. So yeah, I'm happy or thankful for everyone at the end of the day, and I hope everyone has a great day moving forward, and I hope you appreciated Odoo. All right, thank you.